I'm back with another story time. As y'all see by the title, your girl is gonna be telling y'all about her labor and delivery experience, y'all. But before we get into the story time, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, send this to a friend or a family member, and let's get into the story time. Now I know I look a little rough because I don't took my hair out, but ever since I dropped my pregnancy video, all I've been getting is, can we hear your story time? Can we hear your story time? Can we hear your story time? So here I am gonna give it to y'all. So y'all, your girl was in labor for 3 whole days and didn't know. 3 whole days and didn't even know. So around this time, we in April. So remind y'all, I'm like 34 weeks, going on 35 weeks at this time. So day 1 was kind of like, it was simple. Like nothing really happened on day 1. It's just the contractions were coming. It was like literally 3 hours. It was coming back and forth. And I was like literally taking naps. I couldn't sleep as long as I usually would sleep because of the contractions. So we're gonna skip to day 2. So in the middle of the night, that's when my contractions began to get worse and it was coming closer. So day 2, I started to get irritated because I'm like, they just kept coming and I didn't know why. And I'm like, maybe this is what comes with pregnancy. I didn't know. So at this point, I'm sitting up in my bed. How I'm sitting up now, I'm sitting up in my bed with pillows behind me. And that's literally how I slept the whole night, y'all. The whole night. So imagine me waking up. I had an attitude. I was uncomfortable. Didn't want to hear none of that. So day 2. In the morning. So, you know, my siblings get ready for school, whatever. I'm sitting there in pain. I'm flipping side to side. And I'm one of those people that will take pain as long as I can before I even let somebody know that I'm in pain. So that's why my mama didn't know right away that I was having contractions. So I had I think I went on Google. I went on Google and I literally searched in. I was like, what does it mean if you're 34 weeks pregnant and having lower back pain? Guess what it pulled up, y'all? Contractions, active labor. So I'm like, no, can't be me. Like I said about the pregnancy, I'm like, can't be me, baby. I'm only 34 weeks. Can't be me. Baby, yes, it can be you. So I'm like, can't be me. So I goes to scroll some more to see if I can find, you know, some other options. I'm like, because they're not talking about me. It's not talking to me to push my baby out. It's just, no, we didn't even get a chance to get an ultrasound or a gender reveal, any of that, even though it's my fault. But still, it's just not that time. So I go to scroll some more, and it was like how to get rid of the pain. So I clicked on it. And the first option was like, get a hot rag or towel and place it on the spot with the pain. I'm gonna go do that, and 0 out of 10. It didn't do nothing for me. So 0 out of 10. So the second option was like, go soak in the bathtub with some warm water. I jumped up and that's what I go do. Y'all, not saying my contractions was coming like, I'm talking about so painful, and it seemed like they was getting closer and closer. And y'all, I'm just sitting there experiencing everything. I'm feeling everything. So I go in there and I run me some warm water. Of course, it wasn't steaming hot. As soon as I got in, y'all, because when I got in, I was having the contractions. The minute I got in, y'all, I swear to y'all, my contractions stopped. They instantly stopped. And I was sitting in the tub for a good minute. I didn't have no contractions while sitting in that water. So y'all, it just felt so good, and I wasn't having any contractions that I ended up dozing off in the tub. Like I literally laid to the side like this and went to sleep. So what had woke me up was the water was getting cold. So I get up, I put on my clothes, and I'm like, thank goodness, thank God that pain is gone. I'm finna crawl into bed, give me a good little sleep. That baby said, The minute I crawled into my bed to go to sleep, and remind y'all, it was around this time, with nothing like 12, 1 in the afternoon. I crawled in the bed to take a nap, and contractions immediately started again. So now, but when they came back this time, y'all, they were so strong that it had my stomach so tight, and it felt like I was cramping. So I'm balling up in the bed because I'm like, I thought this was going. Now I'm balling up. I'm in pain. I'm aggravated. I'm tired, hungry. Y'all, all I wanted to do was get some sleep. That's all. So by this time, like I said, I'm balled up in the bed. So I'm like, let me go tell my mama, because now I'm aggravated. So I go up there and I tell my mom, like, you know, I'm having back pain. I don't know what to do. This been going on since yesterday. So she like, sound like labor to me. And I'm like, but I'm only 34 weeks. She was like, you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, no, because me, I'm the type of person, knowing how hospitals is, they take hours to even see you. I didn't want to go over with nothing serious. But then again, I'm like, these pains, baby, something going on. Something got to go on. But at that moment, I had told her I want to hold off to see if the pain was going to get worse. So she was like, sound to me like you either pull the muscle. So I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, maybe I don't pull the muscle, because y'all know when you're getting to the end of your pregnancy, you start to nest. Nesting is when you clean up everything and organize everything before your baby get here. So I was doing that every day. I'm talking about some every day. So it went from me moving my bed to one side of the room to the other side of the room, moving my dresser. Yes, I'm big. 34 weeks moving beds, dresser, and I was so independent. I didn't want nobody helping me, because they always was, you need to lay down and get some rest. Oh, you want me to lay down? Okay, I'm finna be in this room cleaning. Every time mom came into my room was different, and I couldn't help it. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe I'm having pains because I'm supposed to actually be resting, but instead of resting, I'm just keep, moving all this heavy equipment around. So she asked me again. She said, you sure you don't want to go to the hospital or the ER just to see, make sure everything is okay? I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait it out. If it gets stronger, then I want to go. She said like 2 hours go by. The contractions were still coming, but I said within them 2 hours, everything just went, I don't know. For the rest of the night, I'm just tossing and turning in pain. I'm like tossing and turning in pain. At this point, I'm balled up. When I tell y'all, the minute I got on my right side, within a minute or two, I had to flip back on my left side. That's how bad it was all night. And remind y'all, this going on for hours. So my contractions ain't doing nothing but getting worse and getting closer. I know y'all like, girl, why you ain't tell your mama, or why y'all ain't go ahead and go to the ER? Because that is just me. That always been in me since I was a little girl, as long as I remember. I would hold pain in until I couldn't hold it in no more, and then I'll go in it to my mama. But she did check up on me, and I kept telling her I was okay. Not come day 3. Not come day 3. I'm telling you, I'm bouncing back and forth, back and forth. It got to the point where I'll say like 5, 6 in the morning. I sit up like I'm sitting up now. I sit up and I was just like, what is wrong? Like, I just kept saying, what is wrong? Like, did I do something? Like, did I pull a muscle? Like, do I need to soak again? And that's exactly what I did. I went to go get right back into it. After I texted my boyfriend, I was like, my body is in pain. I don't know what to do. I done did everything. He was just like, try to drink some more water. Stop moving around so much. Stop organizing everything. Stop rearranging stuff. He basically telling me like I need to rest because I'm always doing something. I need to rest. And that's basically what my mom was telling me. So I ended up getting in the tub. This was like early, like before my siblings even got up to go to school. So I go in the tub and I'm soaking. And y'all, it just felt so good. I'm talking about, it felt so good. So I'm just sitting there soaking. Every time the water got cold, I was draining it, filling it back up with some warm water. So we're going to skip to when the action actually started. So around this time, my siblings was out of school already. This like 6, 7. This the third day, around 6, 7 p.m. I'm in still balled up. I'm balled up the whole day. I go tell mama like I'm rocking at this point. The position I was in, I'm like bent over. And like my hands is like this, but I'm bent over and I'm rocking back and forth like with my in the air. So I'm rocking back and forth and I'm just like, I'm like blowing. I'm like, that's what I kept doing because I didn't know what was going on. So my sister come in there because I guess she heard me in there in pain. So she runs in there. She like, what is wrong with you? You want me to go get mama? That's the first thing she said. And I couldn't even talk. You know how you having the contractions and somebody talking to you? I couldn't even respond to her. She immediately ran and went to go get my mama. I'm rushing her. She, what's wrong? What's wrong, Zai? What's wrong? I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I gotta go to the hospital. I gotta go to the hospital, emergency room, wherever you take me. I got to go where the doctor's at. So she like, she didn't even say nothing. Now that I think about it, she turned around, ran, grabbed her phone, and was on the phone with her best friend. Because literally her best friend had just pulled off like 5 minutes ago from our house. It was crazy. 5 minutes ago, she was just there. And she had pulled out. My mama instantly grabbed her phone, called her, and was like, hey, you can take us to the ER. Zai in pain, Zai in pain. Her friend sped back there so fast. I'm in the bed, steady, bent over, rocking. I'm talking about rocking. My sister literally holding me. She like, before I got interrupted, but like I was saying, my sister was basically like hugged over me and she was rocking with me. And she like, Zai, let's get up, let's put on some pants. Mom finna take us to the ER. So I'm sitting rocking. I'm coming. Just give me a few minutes. I'm coming. So y'all, as I'm talking to her, telling her to hold on, my stomach begins to get tighter and tighter. I just kept feeling it getting tighter and tighter. So at this point, I was like, you know what? Just give me any pants you can find out of there. I don't give a damn if they had holes in them. Go give me some pants out the closet. Just give me any pair of them. Y'all, the minute I stood up, I fell right back on the bed. I fell right back onto the bed. I swear to y'all. I stood up and it literally felt like something was trying to pull its way out my. I swear to y'all, because when I stood up, it was so much pressure down there, y'all. It felt like the baby was trying to pull his way out my vajayjay. I'm talking about some stretch it wide open, pull his way out my vajayjay. That's how it felt. So when I stood up, I guess all the pressure from my stomach went to my vajayjay, and I didn't know what to do. So I instantly fell back on the bed, and my sister ran away with my mom, and I'm like, I can't stand. I cannot stand. I said, it's so much pressure. It's so much pressure down there. So my mom was like, that sound like you in labor. That sound like you in labor. She was like, no, we finna go. We finna go. We finna go. But like I told y'all, baby wasn't nowhere. She wasn't nowhere but 5 minutes away. Pull back. We all, I'm talking about every soul that was in the house got into that car. We get into the car. She speed into the ER. Speed into the ER. Now this is the crazy thing. As I'm walking to the car, I'm bent over. I'm talking about literally bent over, hand on my back, baby, like I'm older. So I'm bent over, walking to the car. Contractions back to back at this point. It was like at least 30, 20, probably 20, 30 minutes apart. So I'm walking to the car bent over. Gets in the car, she's speeding. I don't know if it was because of the ride or what, but contractions stopped. I don't give a damn because we finna see what's going on. I refuse to be in pain again like last night. So I goes in there, you know, my mama signed me in. They tell me to pee in this cup, give them to me. They put my band on. So we was in there for a good 5 minutes before they called me. So they called me to the back. So we get to the back, and like doctors always do, they was asking me questions like, how far along is you? What are you having? What all did I do? What's the problem? So I ended up telling him, like, basically, I'm having lower back pain. And when he said the same thing my mama said, it sounded like you in labor. He was like, but before we go to say anything, we want to confirm it. So he was asking me some more questions, I forgot. And as he was asking me questions and as I was answering them, I was having contractions. And he was timing them. And he like, baby, them like 10 minutes apart. He was like, them contractions too close. So I told him, like, basically, you know, due to me hot my pregnancy, we never got an ultrasound. We don't even know the gender of the baby. I was like, basically, so he was like, fine. You know, things happen. He was like, we're going to get your ultrasound today. So they come in there, and the nurse starts to put the cold gel on my belly. And she trying to see, like, where's my baby facing? Like, is my baby facing head down? Like, what is my baby doing for me to be having contractions this early? So I'm excited at the same time because I'm like, this is the first time I was for my baby. You know, I don't have no ultrasound pictures to share. So I'm like, this is the first time, you know, I'll see my baby. So the minute she went to doing the ultrasound, y'all, I had a contraction. So at that point, I was like, that machine. Because I was like, get it out my face, stop touching me, don't say nothing to me. Because now the contractions was so bad to everything was irritating me. So I'm like, don't say nothing to me. Don't even look my way. That's how I was feeling. So once she got done, because she paused until I got done with my contractions. Thank you, because it's some of them that will keep going. But once she got done, she was like, baby is face head down, like ready to be delivered. So he was like, I forgot what he did, but he jumped up and he put some medicine in my IV. I don't remember what medicine was because I'm not gonna say I don't know, but I was aware of the medicine. My mama was in the room with me the whole time, y'all. But he put this medicine in my IV and it made me hot. Like I was burning, like I was on fire, and I kept telling him, I was like, I'm burning. He was like, it's the medicine, but it's gonna wear off in a little bit. I was burning up. I'm gonna show y'all the picture right here. I was burning up. And I started looking at them because now I got an attitude. I'm having contractions. I'm burning up. I'm in pain. I haven't ate. Y'all pissing me off. So I'm looking at them like, you know. After that, he started timing my contractions again. And at this time, they was 5 minutes apart. So he immediately told them that I need to be rushed to the hospital. So he comes in and he gives me a gown and a bag to put my clothes in. I switch this, that, and the third. Paramedics come in. It was 2 paramedics in. They in a photo. So they come in, they're like, we're gonna be the one transporting you to the hospital. He was like, you safe with us. If you have any questions, anything, let me know. My mama immediately, once he said that I was getting rushed to the hospital because I was in labor due to my contractions being 5 minutes apart, she immediately got on the phone and started calling my boyfriend like, hey, you need to meet us at the hospital. Zafin had a baby. So that's what she stepped out to do. She stepped out to call my boyfriend. So the paramedics come in and they're like, you know, we finna transport you this and the third. So I gets put on the bed. And y'all, you only seen shit like this in movies. When I tell you, they was running. It was a paramedic on this side, a paramedic on this side. We're gonna say Steve and John. When I tell you they was holding on to my bed, running through the hallway with me, I was gripping that bed so tight. He was like, we got you. You got nothing to worry about. Even though they strapped me in, y'all, I kept feeling like I was going to fall. I swear. You only see these in movies and TV shows. So they went to running through the hallway with me, like telling everybody, like, move, got their way. We get to the double doors. They ain't even stop. They ain't even push the double doors in. They literally pushed my bed through the double doors and was running with me. So, boom. We get outside and it starts to put me on the paramedics. I see my mama getting in the car with my siblings. She like, we're going to follow you, but she made sure I had my phone. So, y'all, I gets in the paramedic van, and y'all won't even believe what happened next. I gets on the van. We're going to say Steve. He's making sure everything's straight. John is the one driving. I'm talking about whipping it. I'm talking about we speeding. I can feel it. I can hear it as well. We speeding. He got the sirens on. So I'm sitting back there, and Steve was just like, you know, if you need anything, let me know. Y'all, this man turned around for a minute. He turned around for a minute. I don't know what he was doing, but I could see him in the corner of my eye because he was like right here. But if I was to look, I can't turn my head because he was too far. But on the corner of my eye, I could see that he's doing something. Like he was doing something with a clipboard and some papers. Y'all, this man literally said, if you need anything, let me know. He turned around to that clipboard. And I tell you, within 2 minutes, I could not breathe. I know I have asthma, but my asthma only bothers me if I'm sick or, you know, winter. It was neither one of those. I wasn't sick and it wasn't winter. So, y'all, my lungs, I felt like I was getting no air through my lungs. Like, literally, it closed up. I swear to you. And it was the most scariest thing in my life. So once that happened, I went to reaching for him. Like I'm kicking and reaching for him. He immediately, I tell y'all no lie, this man immediately turned around, looked at me, and I'm tapping my, like, I'm like, because I can't breathe at all. And he immediately, I don't know what he was saying to John, but he was basically talking to him, and he was so calm. Because I know me, I would have been panicking like, bitch, give me something to give her. So he was so calm, y'all. And above me was like this cabinet with like medical accessories and stuff like that. And he like grabbed the oxygen mask, put it on my face, and just went to like pumping. Within the second pump, y'all, I was able to, like everything happened so fast, but he reacted so fast. And it's like, he heard me grab the oxygen, put it on me, and just went to pumping so fast. And he was like, talk to me, talk to me. And I'm like, and I finally felt air. I don't know what it was, y'all. I felt like it was the medicine because I was straight. I was breathing fine until he put that medicine in my IV and everything just went left. So after that, he did not want to take his eyes off me. Like he literally was staring me in my eyes. Like he was like, talk to me. We was holding a full conversation, but I'm still in shock because I was like, what is that? That just happened out of nowhere. I wasn't doing nothing but laying here waiting for me to get to the hospital. What was that? So he basically was trying to keep me calm. And he was talking to the other driver as well. Because he like, talk to me. Yeah, Steve, you had to talk to him. So he like, you know, she's still with us. I'm talking to her. I ain't taking my eyes off her. So we both still trying to figure out. I'm in my head trying to figure out like, what the hell just happened? Now I'm looking for my mama because I'm like. So we get to the hospital and they bring me through the back. But at this point, I'm looking for my mama because I'm so scared and in shock. Like, I want to tell her what just happened from beginning to end. So we get into the hospital and they're going through so many hallways to get me to my room. It was so aggravating. So before we get to my room, Steve, the one that was in the back of the pyramid with me, was like, you know, your blood pressure was over 200. I'm looking at him because I'm like, go into details what the hell that mean. You talking to a 15-year-old. So I'm just looking at him like, you know, like what that mean. So he was like, you could have died if I ain't give you that oxygen in time. Once he said that, my heart instantly went all the way to my stomach because I'm like, I'm already scared. I couldn't just breathe. And you telling me that I could have just died in the back of a paramedics. So I'm looking for my mama. Like, I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking at this point. I was shaking so bad, y'all, it didn't make no sense. So I get into the room with the curtains and stuff, and here comes the nurse asking me the same questions that the other nurses already don't ask me at the ER. So she like, are you okay? How far along are you? So she was asking me questions I never even heard of, like stuff I didn't even know what it was. Remind you, I'm 15. So I'm like, you know, can we just wait till my mama get here? Because I don't believe you supposed to even be, this is not what I told her, but I'm thinking like, you're not even supposed to be asking me questions. I'm a minor still. You're not even supposed to be asking me questions like that or having me sign nothing without my mama here. So I was like, can we wait till my mama get here? She was like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. So remind you, the paramedic man is still there. He was like, I just want to make sure you're good. Are you okay? Are you feeling good? I'm like, yes, sir. So he goes over there and he tells the nurse, he gave her this paper and he like, keep eyes on her. He was like, because she just couldn't breathe, you know, in the paramedics, and her blood pressure was over 200. Once he said that, she immediately emergency C-section. So I'm like, I know what a C-section is, but baby, you said emergency. So y'all, minutes after me looking for my mama, she finally walked in. So when she walked in, you know, she just making sure I'm straight or whatever. So the nurse tell her like, hey, we're gonna have to do a C-section. So mama like, you know, like why? So she explained to her like, you know, her blood pressure was over 200 and she could have passed in the paramedics. So you could tell mama whole demeanor changed. Like she looked so worried, but she tried to make it seem like she was straight. I know she was doing that because she didn't want me to panic, even though I was panicking in the inside, but I wasn't showing it, but I was scared to death. So they had us sign forms or whatever, and then they was asking me like, you want mom in the C-section room with you? And I'm like, if she want to go. I did not know if she was going to feel uncomfortable or not, so that's why I didn't immediately say yes. I was like, you know, that's her decision if she want to go. So they get mama the gown and stuff, and the lady was like, the room almost ready for you. So I'm sitting there. As soon as she said that, y'all, I tell like 3 minutes after that, I'm sitting back and I'm like, I'm really finna have a baby. I don't know what I'm having, but I'm really finna be somebody's mother. Like, I'm really finna be somebody's mother. Next thing I know, y'all know how like you get a water balloon and you like pop it with a pin or something and it just bursts. That's what I felt between my legs, y'all. Like I'm laying there, I'm laying back, my legs are straight. I don't got them sitting, I don't got them bent. I'm laying there, they straight. I'm sitting there with a cover over me. And I'm just thinking, I'm not really gonna be somebody's mama. Out of nowhere, it just hurt. I just felt. So once I felt that, I was like, did I just pee on myself? My mom was like, you peed on yourself. And the nurse was like, did you pee or your water just broke? And I'm looking at her because I'm like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, so she came over there and she checked and she was like, oh, water just broke. So she ran back there and I guess she told the people like, it's time because, you know, baby finna make an entrance. So they ended up taking me into the C-section room where they had all these needles and tools laid out with this, I believe it was silver table. And they basically had to cut my bra or whatever. So they cut my bra and then the other nurse was like, sit on top of the table because I had to get an epidural in my back. So I'm sitting on the table and one of the doctor went to clean my back with something real cold. And the lady was like, you know, you're going to feel something pinch you, but you can't move because it's an extra long needle going into your back near your spine. And if you was to move, it could hit your spine and you'd be paralyzed for the rest of your life. I was trying to stay still and not move at all because if you know me, you know I'm scared of needles. So I was trying not to move at all. So one of the nurses, she was so sweet. She came in front of me and she was like, you can hug me, squeeze me, or whatever you need to do. She said, but I don't want you to move. So I was like hugging her. And she was literally like holding me. She was holding me like this, like under my back. She was holding me. And then like I had my arms wrapped around like her neck part. So while she was hugging me, he was like, they was very nice though. He was like, I'm gonna go ahead and put the needle in your back. He was like, try your best not to move. I didn't move, but I felt the pinch. It wasn't bad, but it was very uncomfortable. But it was quick. So once he got done with that, they immediately laid me down, like laid me down on my back, like on the table, laid me down. Once they laid me down, they was putting sheets and curtains up, I guess so I wouldn't see what they was doing. And the other nurse was tying, she ended up tying my wrist to whatever was on the side. Like tying my wrist down, I guess so I wouldn't pull the curtain down. But before they began the surgery, my mama came in and they gave her a chair to like sit right next to me. But she was like faced the opposite way, like towards the wall. So before they started surgery, the doctor was like, I'm gonna pinch your foot and I want you to tell me which foot I'm pinching. So he was pinching, I guess he was pinching my feet, but I felt nothing. So he basically was doing all that to make sure I was numb for my surgery. So I didn't even know when they started because I didn't feel a thing. I didn't feel nothing. The way I knew they had began my surgery was I felt my body like being tugged, as if like they was like cutting through all that meat. So my mom was talking to me. She was holding a little conversation, and my mom not a talker. But the reason she was like, you know, holding conversations with me, because if y'all know, pregnancies, giving birth, especially C-section, is risky. So she said she wanted me, you know, to keep my eyes open, like continue talking to her, stay awake, especially what just happened in the paramedics. So I was talking to my mama, whatever, and my face began to itch, like my face and my lips. And I'm like, Mom, scratch it for me, please scratch it. That was the epidural. So I'm like, Mom, please scratch my face, please scratch my face. So she's scratching, but she's not scratching it where I want her to. So the nurse was standing right on the side of us, and she was laughing at me with my mama, and I'm like, it ain't even funny. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, can you please untie my hand? I swear I ain't gonna put this curtain in. Can you please untie my hand? She unties my hand, and I just went to scratching. I just went to scratching. Like I said, we did not know what the gender was. So my mom was like, well, what you want? I'm like, I want a girl. She was like, but what if you get a boy? I said, I'm still gonna be happy. I'm still gonna be happy. I'll say 5 minutes after that, I heard a baby cry. I heard a baby screaming and crying. And I was looking for the baby. I'm talking about looking for the baby. I didn't see the baby. My mom just went screaming. She was like, Zai, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl. So I'm smiling. So, like I said, I'm looking for her. So when I turned to my right, all I could see was the nurse wrapping my baby up and wiping her face off. What made me mad and made me cry, y'all, was I didn't get to see her up close. You know, like, even with C-sections, you know how, like, they will bring the baby to your face and, like, put their cheek on your cheek or have the baby touch some type of skin of you? They did none of that with me. It was instantly grab my baby, wrap her up in the cover, and take her out of the room. I did not get to see her up close. I seen a glimpse of her. So I'm like, okay, maybe if you go clean her off, and then when I get in my room, they're gonna break her to me. That's what I'm thinking. So the surgery went by quick, like it was real fast. So they told me it was done, and then they ended up putting me in my bed. Like I told you, I couldn't feel nothing. They put me in my bed and they put me into a waiting room before I got into my actual room. So my mama ended up coming into my waiting room, and she like, I'm gonna go drop your siblings off, but I can come back. Did you want me to stay, or you know, you good by yourself? So I'm like, you know, I'm good. We got through the big part. I'm good. I could just, you know, call you, text you, whatever. So she was like, make sure you text me or call me when you get into your room. Me in my main room, and I wasn't even worried about me, y'all. I wasn't worried about eating. I wasn't worried about myself. I mainly was trying to get to my baby. I'm like, okay, when y'all bring my baby in here? So nurse like, well, let me go see. She steps out, comes back, and she said, oh, baby has to go to the NICU. I said, goes to the NICU? She said, yes. For what? For what? She was like, oh, we're just gonna run some tests. Been interrupted. But like I was saying, if y'all wanted to run tests, she could have been in there with me, and y'all could have ran as many tests as y'all wanted to. But they said she had to go to NICU. So when I had first asked them, they was like, oh, something about her bilirubin, if that's how you pronounce it, was too high or something like that. So they wanted to put her under the light. It was just so many excuses they was coming up with, and it was irritating me because at first it was, oh, we just want to run tests to make sure, you know, baby's okay. To her bilirubin, I believe that's what it's called, was too high, and they wanted to make sure it goes down before, you know, she can come to me. So y'all, at this point, I'm irritated, I'm crying. I go to call my mama and I'm like, they saying I can't see my baby, this, that, and the third. So the lady was like, no, you can go see her. She was like, you can walk. How I'm gonna walk and I just had a whole C-section? I'm numb. I don't feel nothing. I can't walk. So I was in there for a good, I think, 3 to 4 days. And in 3 to 4 days, I could not see my baby. So my mama was trying to have me calm down and stuff like that. But you know me, I'm panicking, I'm snapping. I'm like, I just want my baby, this, and the third. So my mama was like, you know, put the nurse on the phone. So she talked to the nurse, and the nurse was like, I just want your mama to better explain it to you, you know, this, that, and the third. So mama gave me the phone, and she like, Sigh, they just want to make sure the baby is okay before sending the baby home with you, make sure everything's good. Remember, you couldn't get any tests done because we just not finding out about your pregnancy and stuff like that. I'm like, understandable, but, you know, she can be here with me. Like, I just want to see her one time. I didn't get a chance to see her. She was like, you know, understandable. So I'm asking the nurse, like, can y'all bring me some pictures? Can one of y'all FaceTime me so I can see my baby? So one of the nurses was nice enough, and she was like, can I hold your phone? I can run down there real quick, snap some pictures of her, and let you see what she's doing, and then I can bring it back to you. So she came back and showed me the picture. I cried even more. Like, I'm going to show the picture right here. I'm not going to show too much. But this is the picture right here. This is the first picture I have ever got taken of her. And I was crying so bad, and I was like, I can't come to her because I'm stuck in a bed where I can't walk. So I can't even be on the side of her. She don't even know who her mom is because she didn't even get to touch my skin, smell who I am. I was just so like all over the place, y'all. But they had gave me a number so I can keep calling down there and check on her, y'all. When I tell you, people was aggravating me, I was calling her every 10 minutes. Hey, what is she doing? Is she okay? Is she eating? They was keeping me updated with her bilirubin. If I'm saying it wrong, somebody correct me. But bilirubin, it was like it's going down some, but it needed to go down to a certain amount to where they know she's okay. This, that, and the third. I'm trying to learn how to walk so maybe I can get to my baby. So the lady come in there, she give me breakfast or whatever, and she like, we're gonna have you walk around, you know, the hospital hallway, just so we can get you back up and walking. Baby, the first time me getting out that bed, I tell you, I automatically dropped. Like, my body just, she caught me, but it was like, it just felt like dead weight. And she was like, oh yeah, like, no man, we gonna need another day. That's why I was in there for about 3 or 4 days. So really after that, nothing happened. I just was like, you know, walking around the hospital, trying to get back well and stuff like that. But I was up to where, like, I can walk a good couple of steps, but I couldn't walk too far. So it's like I couldn't walk down there to see my baby. And I don't think they was going to sit there and hold me. I don't understand. If I was good walking a couple of steps, I don't know why they didn't put me in a wheelchair and, you know, take me down into my baby. I still don't understand that. But anyways, my grandma ended up showing up with my brother and my aunties, and, you know, they came there. They were so funny. And knowing I had a C-section, all that down there was hurt. I started feeling it like once the medicine started wearing off. I said like the third day they had woke me up. Y'all, I was knocked out sleep because I was literally up all night, kept calling to check on her, and I would just stare at her picture like, that's me, that's my baby, that's how I was. So I was, the next day, which was the third day of me being there, I was knocked out sleep. So the nurse ended up waking me up. So she wakes me up and she like, hey, how are you feeling? How are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. I think today I can go down there and see my baby. So she was like, yeah, about that. Next thing you know, 3 other nurses come in. They come in with these long white jackets on. And she like, hey, I just want to tell you who I am. And third, she's like, she's from a children's hospital. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking it's normal. So they comes in, and the third nurse or doctor, whatever he was, comes in pulling a clear crib. I say like a clear, cause you know how it is when a baby is inside a bed and there's a glass or clear around the baby with a light over the baby. So he comes bringing the bed in, and I see a baby. So I'm like, that is my baby. Like, that's my baby. But she had so many cords hooked up to her. I'm like, why? They was like, oh, to monitor her heartbeat and her blood pressure, her heart rate, making sure everything is fine with her. I'm like, okay. But then again, I'm like, how? In my head, I'm like, how am I supposed to hold my baby with all these cords? Like, I feel like if I grab her with all these cords, I'm going to hurt her. So he was like, oh, we just want to come here and let you know that we're transferring your baby to a children's hospital because this hospital don't has everything that your baby needs. What? Remind y'all, like I said, I'm nothing but 15. So I'm like, huh? So he's like, basically, they don't have everything that a baby needs in this hospital or that your baby needs or kids in general. That's why when they this small, they transfer them to a children's hospital to monitor them. So I'm looking at him like, how I'm supposed to get over there to see my baby if she's at another hospital? He was like, well, that's what we was thinking. We was like, you know, give you the card, the number, so when you get released from this hospital, you come over to that hospital and visit her whenever you want. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I immediately just started crying. I'm like, so I can't hold her before y'all transport her? He was like, no, ma'am, no. This is the 3rd day that my child is in this world and I have not touched her. So I'm all over the place, y'all. I'm crying. I grabbed my phone and called Mama, and I'm crying so bad that I couldn't get my words out. My mom was like, Zah, what is wrong? I'm finna come up there. I'm finna come up there. So the nurse was like, can I please talk to her? So I get a phone to the nurse or whatever, and my mom talked to him. And my mom was like, what? So my child didn't even get a chance to touch her baby or hold her baby, and y'all telling her that y'all finna transfer her baby to a children's hospital where y'all telling her she can't even touch her baby or see her baby until she get discharged. So it's like, we understand that it's and the third. So y'all, I'm just all over the place, like I said. So after she had left, I was still crying or whatever. So when I calmed down, I called them to check on to see if she was eating, you know, sleeping well, improving in what she needed to improve in. And the nurse had told me, like, since she had got there, she'd been improving in what she needed to do. And she was only there for a couple of hours. So after that, we goes on to the next day. Today is day 4. So today is day 4. I'm up and walking. Yeah, I'm up and walking now that my baby is at another hospital. I know, right? So now I had got up, I took a shower, you know, switched clothes, this and the third. She came in and told me like what medications to take, this and the third, because I was still so sore due to the C-section. So I don't remember who picked me up and took me home, y'all. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't know. But anyways, I got picked up and then I got took to a pharmacy to pick up my medication and then I got took home. It felt good to be home, but I was still like sad because my baby wasn't there. Like my baby is all the way somewhere else while I'm all the way home. So I was in there and basically they told my mama to monitor me because like I said, I was a minor and I'm taking these big medications or whatever. So mama was monitoring me. When I tell y'all that C-section is no joke. So I was in a room and I couldn't lay a certain way because I had to get up out of bed. So I couldn't lay a certain way, especially because I like laying on my stomach. I couldn't lay on my stomach. Sometimes sleeping on my side hurt because I had to roll over to the next side and it was just so sore. Y'all, once I had got home, I don't know. I could have been depressed before, but once I got home, I was so depressed. Like I had fell into depression so bad. And if I could find a picture, I could tell y'all how small I had gotten. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I was literally up 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, calling. Hey, how is she doing? Is she improving? What is she doing right now? Did you just feed her? Y'all, I was in depression so bad. I was crying every night. I kept telling my boyfriend, like, I just want her to come home. I feel like I'll be okay if she come home. I'll come back to being myself if she's home. And he kept just saying, like, he was very positive. He was like, you know, she gonna be here in no time. You know, this just, you know, time for us to get everything ready for her before she get home. And Maya, I told y'all I like cleaning and organized. When I came home, we had so many gifts and presents to open up for her. I didn't touch nothing because I was just so ready for her to come home. The only thing that I literally touched was putting up her crib. That was it. Everything else I did not touch because I was just so depressed and I wanted her to come home. I was in the bed all day. After I take the medication, I was in the bed. I tried to watch TV. I literally was catching myself zoning out, crying, balled up crying, faulting myself that, oh, if I would have sat there and told my mom earlier about my pregnancy, she wouldn't be in our hospital having to be monitored before she come to me. So since I've been home, I was trying to find like different family members or rides to take me up there to see my baby. And like I said in the last video, police got called. So after that, family was just so divided. Like I didn't have, oh, let me call my grandma because of how I felt like my mama would feel. And so I didn't want to step over mom's toes to make another problem. So I didn't want to contact my grandma. So I had ended up finding one of the church members that went to a church that we was going to, and he was like, yeah, he'll take me. So he had took me, and when he took me up there, they let me see my baby. Y'all, for the first time I seen her, like my heart was racing on the way up there to see her, because I'm like, well, she don't like me, will she do all the screaming and crying because she don't know me? I was just judging myself. So I already felt like a bad mother, because I'm like, she up there by herself. I can't go see her every day because I don't have a car of my own. So it's just like, I was just, you know, judging myself. So we get up there, y'all, and I'm asking the lady, like, yeah, where's my baby? Once I told the nurse who I was there for, she was like, yes, she been improving so much since she been here. She was like, I have a whole chart you can look at since the day she got here to now, how good she done improved. So y'all, some babies be all in one room, like next to each other. She had her own room. So she told me she got moved to her own room because, you know, she improved or whatever. This is what she told me. So she walked me to one of the rooms. It was like rooms with doors. And she walked me in there, and that was my baby, y'all. Like, I was smiling ear to ear. Like, this is the picture. The first time I touched her, laid eyes on her, this is the picture. So I was just like, this my baby. And then she smelled so good. She was so tiny. I was just like, I just was staring at her, like admiring her, like, this is my baby. Like, you came out of me. Them 34 weeks was worth it. I was so happy, y'all. I was so happy. So the church member stood, I think, sat downstairs until I was ready to go, and I literally sat there for hours, like just holding her, like humming. I was rocking her. I was taking pictures, and he's the one that came in and took the picture that y'all just seen. And I was just, you know, hold her. I was like, this is my baby. Then it was like vegetation over. I started crying again, because I was like, I'm leaving her here. I feel so bad leaving her because I'm supposed to be her mother. She's supposed to be home with me. When I leave, she's supposed to leave. So I was just crying. I was trying to hold it in so nobody else would like see me crying or know. But I could not hold my tears in. So like I was hugging her, and then I gave her a kiss. But I was like rocking with her as well. So I laid her back on her bed. When I left her, she was asleep. But it's just the fact like you leaving your baby there. So that was eating me up as well. So when I went back home, I literally was just crying all over again. Then a week after that, I almost forgot, I had to get my staples removed. Like when I got my C-section, they actually put staples on my scar to help it close completely. So I had to go do that, y'all. And when I tell y'all, them staples was hurting so bad because they were just pushing into my skin. Like I had to wear pants, I had to wear underwear, I had to wear shorts, and it's like every time I put anything on, any type of bottoms on, it was pushing the staples back into my skin. So when I got there, she had the nerve to pull them out. I had like 12 staples. She pulled them out, and then she wiped it with alcohol, y'all. And when I tell y'all, I almost screamed. Almost screamed. Once I had got home from getting my staples removed, I was on the phone with my boyfriend trying to figure out how I was going to get a ride up there to see the baby. So 2 days after that, we ended up getting a ride, and we went up there to see the baby. And I let him hold her first because I held her last time. And it's just the look on his face, like he instantly fell in love all over again. Like he could not stop staring at her. And remind y'all, we like the oldest out of our siblings, so it's like we helped raise them, so we knew what to do and what not to do with a baby. So the nurse was telling him like, feed her like this, and he was like, I got this, I know how to do this. Because he was like, I help, you know, take care of my siblings. That's what we kept trying to tell the nurse. But I know she was doing her job, but it's like, if we telling you that we know how to feed the baby, we know how to feed our baby. So it was just a priceless moment. Like, I'm glad I captured that picture, because I was like, it's just his face lit up all over again. And she was just sleeping so peacefully, Like, she had nothing to worry about. I was in love all over again. Like, I was just staring at her. And then we had this skin to skin. It was just so, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was just so a good moment. So, y'all, again, visitation was over and we had to end up leaving her. And I cried again because I was like, we shouldn't have to leave her here. I feel like it's my fault. I just kept faulting myself. So then we ended up leaving her or whatever. And as soon as I got home, I called the nurse again and asked her, like, okay, what is she doing? Is she eating? Is she up? And the nurse told me she was feeding her and she had just changed her diaper and she was going back to sleep. And then afterwards, she told me I had to do this thing to where I had to basically come spend the night at the hospital overnight with the baby to make sure I know what I'm doing. I guess due to I was being a teen. So this is the picture that I spent the night with her at the hospital. So that was fun because I literally was holding her all night. And I was just like, just admiring her, y'all. I didn't care about nothing else. As long as I had her in my hands, I didn't care about nothing else. So the next morning I had went home, y'all, and I was praying every morning, every night. I was so depressed. I'm talking about crying over and over again, begging God to please let my baby come home with us because I just felt like she wouldn't know who we are because she's not with us. But she was in there for a total of 3 weeks, y'all. So 2 weeks go by. You know, I wake up. Before I did anything, I called my baby. So I wakes up, I call my baby, and you know, I'm doing my daily checkups. And I'm like, you know, good morning. I'm calling to see how she doing. She say, I tell y'all word for word, I will never forget this phone call. She say, well, good morning. She said, baby girl has improved so much. And I'm glad you called because I was on my way to call you. She said, but I'm letting you know that baby girl is ready to go home tomorrow. Y'all, I said, baby girl is what? I'm like, girl, is you playing with me? She like, no, ma'am, baby girl is ready to be discharged tomorrow. Already started getting her bag ready. Y'all know the bag where you start putting like diapers and wipes and stuff in there like that. So she was like, we just need you here tomorrow at 8 a.m. with her car seat. Baby, that's no problem. I don't give a damn if I was going to walk there. I was going to get there. I was going to get there. So y'all, now I'm excited. My whole mood don't change. I'm like, okay, so what is she doing now? Is she sleep? She like, I just fed her, changed her diaper, and now she sleep. And my y'all, they had been moved. The light that she was under, they had been moved it off her. So she was improving so fast. So when I hung up with her, I instantly called my boyfriend. I was like, our baby come home tomorrow. Like, tomorrow. When I tell you, he was so happy. He had rushed over there to my mom's house and he immediately helped me start getting the room together. He started washing all her clothes. We was folding her clothes, like basically getting the room together. Like I told y'all, I was so depressed. All the gifts that we had was literally still sitting in bags. Her bottles wouldn't wash. We was getting all that together. So before he came, like literally when I hung up the phone with him, I ran in there and I was screaming to my mom. My mom was like, what? She thought something was wrong. I say, Ma, my baby comes home tomorrow. She was like, you're lying. I was like, my baby comes home tomorrow. My mama went to run around the house screaming. She was like, hey, everybody get up and clean up. Find something to clean. I don't care if it is clean. Get up, clean up, because my baby come home tomorrow. I'm like, my baby come home tomorrow. So I was in there sitting there. I'm like, this feels so unreal because my baby that I've been praying forever for, 3 weeks I've been praying for, is actually coming home. Like, I'm gonna be able to hold her as long as I can. No visitation is over. I'm gonna be able to feed her. I'm gonna be able to monitor her myself. Take her to her first doctor appointment. Like, I was just so happy. So me, my mama, and my boyfriend, we literally spent all day organizing all my baby stuff and cleaning up my room. Like, literally organizing all her stuff. She had so much stuff. And remind y'all, we didn't know the gender. So when I went into the hospital, I guess my mom had told everybody, like on Facebook, like, my baby just had her baby girl. So everybody went to bring in gifts. She had so many outfits. We was getting like neutral stuff, like white onesies, clear bottles. When I had got home from the hospital, it was so many pretty outfits. Somebody had bought us a crib and car seat set. Her daddy had clothes and diapers and wipes. Like, we was good. And thankful for my fave, she was shipping me boxes and wipes. She all the way in Georgia. I'm talking about some every day, all day, it was deliveries at the door. Who is it? From my fave. Boxes of Pampers, boxes of wipes, all different sizes. I was so, well, I couldn't even say we were so blessed. So come the next day, y'all, I couldn't even sleep. I'm telling y'all, no, like, I had woke up like around 4 that morning, and I literally was just sitting up. I already had my ride. I basically had everything planned out. So I'm just literally sitting up looking at TV, waiting for 7 to get here. Because, baby, once 7 o'clock get here, I'm out the door. I didn't even tell them 8 o'clock. I told them 7:30 I need to be up there. So when my ride comes, you know, I get dressed. I grabs her car seat and we goes up there to the hospital. Once we got to the hospital, they did the car seat test. She passed it. Then they did her hearing test. She passed it. So the nurse was like, before I give you your discharge papers and you go home, the doctor wanted to speak to you real quick. So we sitting there waiting a whole hour and a half go by just for him to come around and say, congratulations on your baby girl. You could have wrote that on the paper. You could have even typed it on my discharge paper, or you could have sent me an email. I'm trying to go home with my baby. So boom, he gives me my discharge papers. We go home. Y'all, my mama must have told like everybody, like, you know, my baby getting ready to come home with her baby, this and the third. When I tell y'all, I ain't gonna say the whole family, but they're there, because our living room was packed with people. And I came in there and her daddy was already there. And everybody was just like, oh my goodness, she's a mixture of both of y'all. Y'all, this was her first day home. I'm talking about her first day home. When I tell you, everybody was like, oh my goodness, like, this is y'all baby. Because she looked at, like, if I was to hold her, she looked like me. If her daddy was to hold her, she looked like him. So everybody was like, y'all could tell this is y'all baby, like. And then he was holding her and he just was like, he didn't want nobody grabbing her from him. He didn't let her go. He didn't put her down. Like, we spoilt her. Like, we was literally holding her. Like, I don't even know why we had a crib, because she was never in it. I put her in it one time and she didn't even like it. She liked to be on our skin, like on our chest. We babied her the whole time. Like, everybody was just like, oh my goodness, congratulations. Like I told y'all, some family was there. But that mainly was it. She came home. She was with her mommy and her daddy. And we ain't played by her since. That mainly was it. You know, my girl had came home. You know, she was with her people. And my siblings did not play by her. Like, I'm talking, when I said she had everybody watching over her, the minute she cried, everybody was running that direction. Nobody played about my girl. But that mainly was it for this video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Send this to a friend or a family member. And stay tuned for the next video.